Okay, we have to start over because we weren't recording. Anyway, welcome to our Emotional Health Live classes with Pam. We're really excited to be here. I love my IT people. We are wanting to branch out and reach more people with these classes. This is a free webinar, so any friends or family that you know of that might be interested in listening to this today that can't join us at this particular time, please know that it will be on our website and they will have an opportunity to access that. Also, I want to explain a little bit about the new format, and we have part of it set up this week, but as we move forward, we will be able to actually be interactive. I'll be able to see those that are participating. We'll be able to have discussions. We'll be able to unmute everyone's comments, and by the raise of hand, we'll be able to call on you. It's like a classroom setting. And we will be able to also, let's see, we'll be able to have everybody live and visual. And that's what I'm really excited about, because I'll be able to see each one of you. Now, if after our free webinar today you want to subscribe to continue on with these classes, you'll need to call the office and we'll be able to get you set up. And we're also going to gift you a Bright Red Bow book. These series, the Emotional Health Live classes with Pam, are for beginners. And even for those that have graduated or that are currently students, it's excellent information. And we're doing this particular webinar with Brandy and Amanda from the Enlighten Company. And we're so excited to have them with us. And if you can see Brandy on the screen, she's with us this morning. Brandy, can you let us know if we can hear you today? See if you're with us auditorily. Can you?
Awesome. Can you hear me?
So, what do we do? Hang on one sec.
I'm going to take you off. I had you on speaker. Can you hear me now?
We'll do it over the phone this time if we have to. We'll see if we can.
I'm hearing you guys great.
We can welcome her in. I've been working with Brandy and Amanda since last July, and what they do is they bring in some special information about oils and how oils can help us with our emotional health. And we felt like that teaming up together in a partnership would actually help us learn more about oils, as well as learning the emotional health component and bringing that forward so that we can integrate the knowledge from these two worlds and have it be something that is easy to do, something that we can use our oils for that will help us with emotional health. So we're really, really excited about that. Randy, if you are calling me, I'm not getting the call, so just call me personally. If you could call me personally, and then we'll just patch you in, okay? And then, because I'd like to welcome Brandy. Also, next week we'll be able to have all the pictures of everyone here with us, and we'll be able to move forward with this new format, which we are so excited about. So I appreciate, this is live, and it's like, we're excited about it. It's going to be fun. And you get to see all of my, I don't know, facial expressions and all the funny ways that I talk, but we love it. Okay, so we're just trying to get Brandy, making sure that she's online with us and welcoming her. They do a lot of research from Enlighten. They're the ones that produced the book, the oils book that we all use as a reference book. And to have them with us is such a blessing, and it's such a wonderful gift that we could be coordinating these two companies and share some really valuable information with you. So as we're working on Brandy's audio, I am going to move forward with our topic, and Brandy will come in towards the end with the information about the oil. So welcome, Brandy, and we're excited to have you with us. So
hi, Pam.
As we move forward, I need to...
I don't think she can hear me still.
I need to move my presentation.
Uh-huh.
So what we wanted to do is kind of bring the picture back up here, and then, yeah, and how did you do that with the screen? Because it wasn't working.
Just click on it.
I did.
Did you hear Brandy?
I couldn't hear her. We couldn't hear you yet, honey. Please know that we're getting it figured out. We'll do it on the phone, and this has a really big microphone, and so if we can get you on the phone, we can put you on speakerphone. That's what we're
I'm
doing.
seeing it green, like it's recognizing
All
my
right.
voice and everything. The little microphone is turning green as I'm talking to you.
So we will go ahead with Growing a Healthy You. The month of
Okay, so should I turn
January,
this one off just in case?
it's about personal development, and it's about growing a healthy you. And my topic today is Seek to be Inspired. I have really thought a lot about presenting this information in one of the webinars. And I'm
when she gets to my slides, then you'll just unmute me.
Because we will be able to.
All right, so I'll stay on this number.
We'll be able to learn together, and we'll be able to talk with each other about this particular idea that I have. So, and again, we're welcoming Brandy, and I'm just kind of getting this moving forward. Okay, so Seek to be Inspired. It has to do with staying motivated and what motivates you. I am someone who has been studying what motivates me and what motivates others for 25 years. It's been something that I'm interested in, what really causes us to take action in our life. And as we talk about this, what staying motivated means that when it comes to making your commitments or keeping your commitments or promises to self, we can be strengthened when we know what inspires us. Now, inspiration does not come in a one-size-fits-all. What inspires and motivates you and what motivates me are as different as our body types, our likes and our dislikes, and our personalities. So when we lean into this concept of what motivates us, what inspires us to actually do better, to be better, to make different choices in our life, that's what we're exploring today. And when we look at the word inspire, it's actually a verb. It is an action word, and it means to encourage somebody to greater effort and enthusiasm or creativity, and to awaken a particular feeling in somebody, to breathe or to bring breath into an idea. To inspire means that a particular idea or some action is given to us through inspiration, and it brings forward enthusiasm, creativity, or a particular feeling of guidance that we need to follow. Inspiration is one of my favorite ways to access guidance and information about what I'm supposed to be doing in any given moment, as far as what path I'm supposed to be taking for big decisions or little decisions. And I'm going to be talking about sometimes people get so caught in trying to figure out these bigger decisions that sometimes they don't recognize that following the little decisions is what will help them move forward in their life. And as we talk about this, we're going to be talking about ways inspiration comes to us. So I am an artist, and I didn't realize this until just a few years ago when I started to take painting classes and doing watercolor. And what came out of me was so refreshing, so therapeutic, so healing, to be a part of a creative mindset for just an hour a day or a couple minutes a day or a couple of hours a week. And so to truly touch me in my heart and soul, something inspirational must be beautiful, unique, and thought-provoking. I'm very drawn to the world in a visual auditory way, and these senses seem to be alive for me. And so as an artist, I'm bringing this forward because you are going to have cues that will help you to know how inspiration comes to you. You might be a very visual person. Your space might be important to you, how it looks, how it feels. I just cleaned out my closet yesterday. Can I tell you how excited I am about that? I cleaned out some of the dark corners of my closet where there were things that have been there for I don't know how long, and to clean out that space and to make it look beautiful, I was thrilled about the whole thing, only because of what it looked like visually. And yes, I actually have my clothes color coordinated. I have all my off-white clothes right here, and my prints over here, and I have my darker clothes on the lower rack, and I have my printed leggings that I like to wear. They're on one shelf, and maybe this sounds bizarre, people, but seriously, it felt so good to get it organized and to do that for me and to get my space organized. I'm ready to come into the new year. Closets are actually symbolic of your personal emotional life. And cleaning out closets can be really symbolic. It was refreshing and very helpful for me. Now, some of us get cues auditorily. We might have cues that come to us with certain phrases or certain words that we go, oh, I heard that and I need to follow through with that. And some of us get inspiration through feelings. And so we want to be aware of what our learning style is and how inspiration works through us. Now I'm going to tell a little bit about my art, and this is hard and kind of scary, but I'm going to move forward with this just to help you to know that visual cues can be an important part for inspiration. There's an art show that I've entered every year for the last couple of years. The Hogle Zoo art show is hosted the second week in January, and after last year's show, I knew that I would need to paint, or I would need to figure out what I would paint for the year 2017. So for several months, I looked and looked for ideas, and I couldn't find anything that excited me or inspired me. Not enough to enter it into the show this year until I saw a picture in a magazine that touched me. Now, please know that every week I was asking the question, what should I paint? For weeks, from last year's entries, clear until September, I kept asking the question, what should I paint? I did not feel any answer. I didn't feel drawn to anything. And I was starting to get a little worried until in a magazine, I saw this picture. And it looks like that they put it in upside down. But just imagine that if the cocoon was reversed, that actually we would be seeing the process of the monarch butterfly coming out of a cocoon. Now, I had to find an image that I connected to emotionally, something that meant something to me. The image I was looking for would need to be challenging and yet within my skill set as an artist. I did not think that I could paint this. I had a class that I was just taking, a class from a professor and from a professional artist that could help guide me if I needed help. And I took a leap of faith and I chose to paint this photograph. The timing was right. If I messed up, it was in September, I would still have 4 months to make a redo of something else. I loved the image and I had a professional help for guidance and direction. I felt like it was a little overambitious, but a goal that way down deep inside I felt like I could accomplish. So after painting on it for several months now, this is what I painted. And it took me 3 months. I painted on it maybe 2 to 3 hours a week was all. And the name of this painting is called The Art of Transformation. Now I have to tell you that this picture and this image sings for me in my soul. I had to find something that was inspirational for me, something that I would want to continue to work on even when it got hard. I had to feel and to see and to know that this was the painting that I should pursue. I waited for a long period of time for the answer to come through, and when I felt the inspiration, I took action and I moved on it, and it was enough motivation to keep me going so that I would complete the project. This coming Saturday, I am entering this particular photograph in that contest. And I don't really care if I win anything. It doesn't really matter. I'm so thrilled with it myself and amazed at what I was able to accomplish that I'm happy with it for my own accomplishment, and I can celebrate that. You can see that I haven't signed it yet. I still need to sign the piece of work and acknowledge that I painted it. But I'm thrilled. So I want to talk about the process that I went through with this art to help you in your life find what inspires you and help you to use inspiration as you set your goals or your resolutions for this year. In fact, we all have lists. Well, I think I better follow this presentation before I jump into what I'm so excited to share with you today. Oh, so let me give you another example. So my daughter is very kinesthetic, and in her world, she connects with her surroundings, with her body. Knowing your learning style can help you know how you receive inspiration. Inspiration is usually given through your areas of strength or in areas where you shine. Now, she loves basketball, and she's wanted to play college ball since she was in the 9th grade. Basketball and sports come naturally for her, and she has some raw talent, and she has a love for the game. Now, let me explain just a little bit. Let me see. I don't really know how to go back, but I have to tell you a story about Savannah really quick. So when she was little, she would be in our living room, and I would be going over her spelling words with her. And what she would do is she would do cartwheels in the middle of the room while we were learning spelling. And for a while, I was getting frustrated by saying, you need to sit on the couch and you need to listen while we're reviewing your spelling words. But she couldn't sit there, very busy, and she was really into her body. And I had to acknowledge that her learning style was movement. So I let her get up and do cartwheels in the living room, all the while we were learning her spelling words. And as she went, and I understood that this was her learning style and it was okay to move to learn, she got really good at spelling. Also, because it got linked to her body. Also, another thing is that by the time she was in the 9th grade, she knew she wanted to play college ball. Now, she was driven by her strengths, by her gifts. Do you know that we receive inspiration in the areas of our strengths? That's how God teaches us, and that's how we learn. And I'm sure that'll come up again in one of the slides, and we'll just review it again when it comes. But can I tell you that in spite of 2 knee surgeries and in spite of a lot of opposition that she had, she was able to play college ball for 2 years. She got a scholarship that helped her get her associate's degree. That her passion was in the areas of her strengths, and that's where we learn our lessons, even though we have adversity. So I'm going to move on and follow now with this slide. How you know that you are operating from inspiration is noticing what you're drawn to and noticing what you have passion towards that matches your full potential, your purpose here on life. In life, your genius will be reflected in what you love. Now, we are more likely to receive inspiration in the areas of our strengths and talents. Here it is right here. Your inspiration will be from your wheelhouse of gifts, and you will know your gift already, or it will be awakened in you. Staying motivated about something you love can make things easier. And this is significant because many of us are wandering around looking at other people's gifts and saying, oh, I want to do what she's doing. Oh, I want to do what they're doing. Instead of really being connected to who we are and what we were born to do. And I would like to have us take the focus off of watching and comparing everybody else's gifts and genius. I mean, we get to celebrate with them. But to have it to make us feel bad, it shouldn't make us feel bad or less than or incompetent or inadequate. We should just celebrate what they're doing and continue to focus on our own genius and learning about what inspires us and motivates us. This is called mindfulness, by the way. This is the new buzzword that's around. Mindfulness is getting in touch with you, checking in with you in your own personal Facebook, your own personal spiritual technology that's being given to you, and not focusing so much on other people's celebrations. I mean, we get to celebrate with them, but not focusing on it so much. Now, sometimes there are challenges in the area of genius. And again, my daughter was given an opportunity to ask the question, and here was her question. After she'd had an ACL repair in her junior year of high school and an ACL repair in her senior year on the opposite leg, her senior year. And then after she graduated, a college in northern Montana called her and asked her if she would play basketball. She could have easily said, they didn't know about the ACLs. She could have easily said, no, I've had 2 knee surgeries, and say no, but she didn't. She hesitated on the phone. And the question was, is it possible to play college basketball with 2 knee surgeries? And I want you to know that it is. That she actually went up there just having recuperated from that ACL after 6 months. She played with a brace, and even though she couldn't run very well, she went for it because of the passion that she had and because she was inspired to do it. She ended up meeting her husband up there and ended up just last year getting married. It's changed her whole life because she followed her dream, because she followed her passion, because she followed what inspired her. And inspiration, again, comes in ways that match you individually and uniquely. Inspiration is a spark of light or an energy that inspires you to feel a certain feeling or act in a way that matches your higher self. It helps us to aspire to our best behavior or to reach beyond what we think we can do. Now, seeking inspiration, let me just look at this really quickly. I can't read what that says because we have our bar across the top. So seeking inspiration, knowledge, and understanding by asking questions opens the prefrontal cortex, and here's an image of how the brain processes that question about what is compassion. Now, I want you to notice on your screen that you've got the prefrontal cortex, and it's asking the question, what is compassion? Then it comes over, and there are 3 components that the brain starts to work on when it's working out a problem or an issue. First of all, it accesses the neural network, and it also is going to link up to all the information that you've ever read or heard about compassion, and it's going to remind you about a DVD that you saw about compassion. And then it's going to link up to a personal experience about compassion. And then the frontal lobe goes into a place where it brings all that information forward, and it combines the individual neural networks and any new information that comes with inspiration about what you're being currently taught. And then it comes into an internal representation of compassion. Now, a lot of people are teaching inspiration or inner guidance, and they'll say that you have information that comes from your gut. They'll say that you have information that comes from your right brain, which is your personal experience of compassion. And then they'll say you have your left brain interaction, which is your book learning, people's other experiences about compassion, but they don't bring in the prefrontal cortex. And can I say that it's the prefrontal cortex that helps us to even know what questions to ask? And it's the place where we ponder and meditate. It's the place where new information is coming forward, and we want to be connected to the prefrontal cortex. That is the state of enlightenment. That is the new way. That is, another way to describe that is mindfulness, purposeful thinking. That's what I want to bring forward to us this year in 2017. I am so excited about helping people understand the purpose of the prefrontal cortex and how we need to be integrating that into our problem solving, our goal setting, our everyday living, and that's what today's topic is about. So let's keep moving forward. When the frontal lobe is working in the creative mode, it looks out over the landscape of the entire brain, and it gathers all of the brain's information to create a new mind. If compassion is the new state of being that you want to create in 2017, then once you ask yourself what it would be like to be compassionate, the frontal lobe would naturally combine different neural networks together in new ways to create a new model or a new vision. It might take stored information from the books you've read and everything that I just talked about with the DVDs and your personal experiences to make the brain work in a new way. Once the new mind is in place, you see a picture, a hologram, or a vision of what compassion means to you, and then you start operating out of that vision. So instead of just setting New Year's resolutions randomly or refusing to set a New Year's resolution because you don't want to get caught in a trap of self-sabotage, well, for Pete's sakes, let's talk about creating a new mind that you would be motivated to fulfill this year, that would give you an area of focus and that would direct you with setting a New Year's resolution, even if we call it that. So I'm hoping that you're understanding where we're going with this, because operating out of genius and inspiration will keep you motivated through the year to reach the goals that are possible for you, the opportunities that are possible for you in establishing a new mind. So whether you want to be wealthy or a better parent or a great wizard with life coaching, for that matter, it might not be a bad idea to fill your brain with knowledge on your chosen subject so you have more building blocks to make a new model of the reality you want to embrace. In other words, study the topics you have passion about. I study art. Every night before I go to bed, I look at beautiful art images in magazines and books that inspire me and that help me to study that field. And I acquire new information so that when I go to paint or choose something that I want to paint, I have more neural pathways for the brain to access. So studying your topics of interest are really important. You're actually adding new synaptic connections that will serve as the raw material to break the pattern of your brain firing the same old way. So study and book learning is important. And then identifying what questions you want to ask. The more you learn, the more ammo you have to unseat the old personality and move into a new way of doing life. Now, there's 3 tips to use when operating from inspiration. And I'm suggesting that you find something that you have passion about that can support you with new learning in 2017. And then there are 3 components about inspiration that we need to take into account here. And I'm hoping you're with me, and I'm hoping that this is making sense to everybody with the way that I'm teaching this. But the very first thing that we have to have if we're going to operate from inspiration is we have to believe. We have to have faith that an answer can be given. Seekers trust that when they knock, an answer will be given. Believing helps to prepare the receiver for that answer. This process is like a muscle that can be strengthened with use. If you approach this particular process of seek to be inspired without faith or believing, it won't work for you. We'll just say that, call it how it is. But if you practice mindfulness every day, asking the question, how shall I serve today? Or help me to know about compassion. Or help me to know what I'm supposed to paint this year. Or help me to know if I can really play basketball after 2 knee surgeries. Is that possible? Help me to have faith to move forward on that. Help me to know how to have better financial management. Or help me to know how to get out of debt. What would it feel like to get out of debt? What would it feel like to have a best friend? What would it feel like to exercise 3 or 4 times a week on a regular basis? Ask the questions. And then when you ask the question, eliminate judgment and self-doubt. Be careful not to judge those impressions that awaken the feelings of awe and wonder inside of you. Curiosity opens the doors to creativity and the realm of possibilities. Asking the question, what if, helps to eliminate judgment and then hold the space that anything is possible. To know how to ask questions that are specifically linked to you is actually using Socrates' method of learning. He learned through asking questions. It's a specific type of learning, Socrates' method of learning, and that is learning how to ask the question. Now, when you come to the school here at the Institute of Healing Arts, we focus on how do you ask the question to get the information you want from the body by teaching muscle testing. When we teach muscle testing, we're learning the art of asking questions. And then you can grow and build on that form of learning. And can I just say that any of you out there that are considering taking this school, please know that it is life-changing. And that this is the style of learning that we teach at the school here. And it's important and it's valuable. So again, continue to believe by eliminating judgment and self-doubt, and step into a place of possibilities. And then continue to learn how to ask questions. This is the style of learning that Socrates implemented, and this is the style we teach at the school. My challenge to you this year is to choose your New Year's resolution from inspiration rather than from doing what you think you should be doing. Sources of inspiration, as far as asking the question, what should I pursue this year? What should my goals be? Can include movies, books, quotes, family, or those that love and support you. They might have, it might be in that space of family that you want to make improvement. Maybe you want to be a better mother, a better father. Maybe you want to be a better wife. And maybe that's what's going to inspire you. Or other dreams in your life that you want to pursue. Goals. Maybe identifying what you want to be loyal to, or what you have loyalty about in your life. Maybe you're really patriotic and you want to continue to pursue learning about our country's history and where we are now politically. Maybe you want to develop more loyalty within yourself and not betray self so much. Maybe that's what you want to study this year. Maybe you want to learn about love or financial freedom or power, how to use power appropriately instead of misusing your power. Maybe there's someone in your life that inspires you, and you could identify what that character trait is that that person has, and maybe you would focus on that. Identify what it is about that person that you're drawn to or that you love, and become that person. Not become that person, but become that character trait. That's what I'm trying to say. And we don't want to compare ourselves or make ourselves feel bad because we're not that person. What we can do is identify the character trait we want to focus on and that we want to grow from and build on this year. This exercise, again, isn't so that you'll become more like that person in the way they do things. It's so that you can identify that character trait and embrace it and express it in your own way. Now, maybe you want to manage your anger and be 80%, or maybe you want to be 80% more on time with your schedule. Maybe you want to have a cleaner house. Maybe you want to wear clothes that make you feel beautiful. I've actually just changed my style of clothes this year, and I totally love it. I'm wearing florals. I'm wearing really funky clothes, and I am having a great time with it. Maybe you want to experience better health or be more fit. But instead of doing it from a place of, I should be that, you're going to do it from a place of being inspired to do that. Maybe you want to learn more about emotional health or take a class in something that you find fascinating. I'm bringing forward the realm of possibilities not to overwhelm you, but to see if there's any one thing in this list that stands out to you, that pricks your heart just a little bit, that reminds you that, oh yeah, I wanted to start focusing on that. Maybe, again, you want to improve your marriage or be motivated or take up a hobby. I'm motivated at work. This is the point. Whatever you're seeking, be sure to ask the question, what would it feel like if I was already doing that? How would it feel in my life if I was already exercising and it wasn't such a big stumbling block for me in my life? wasn't something that I moaned about every time I tried to do the button on my pants. What if I was already doing it and I could fit into that dress that I wore 2 years ago? Man, then if that's what inspires you, that feeling of I am going to be that person and be that fit like I used to be, if that's what inspires you, then do that. And act as if you're already in the routine of the exercising. That is another key part to staying motivated, because with my art, I had to continue to ask. You're going to have to get everything you need from them at the door and not let them in. Excuse me. I'm right at the front of my office, and we have to tell somebody not to come in and make noise. Okay, so what I'm going to say is that, and I want to make sure I don't lose this concept because it's really important, that being mindful means to operate as if I'm already doing it. When we say, hey, I'm one of those gym rats that goes to the gym 3 and 4 times a week, and you start seeing yourself as that, and you say that, you be that, you become that. Lots easier. And so where we're going at this point is I want to help you know how to stay connected to what inspires you. Because there's another step with this that's really important. I had to visualize myself as the artist that painted that picture. I kept holding on to that vision. I had to say, what if I really could paint this and it came off better than I thought it would? That's what I held on to, rather than, what if I don't do it right? What if I mess up? What if I don't paint that wing right? What if I really mess up the background? I had to focus on what it would feel like if it was complete and accomplished and more than what I thought it would be. And that's the result I got. Now, again, when we open our mind to new possibilities, there's something inside of us that's seeking to be inspired. Oh, please know that it's really part of our spirit to want to be inspired. That's a natural part of our human being, our human experience. And we should honor that part of ourselves, and we shouldn't shut it down with doubt or fear. Searching for meaning or purpose in our lives, we can find it by asking questions and believing that an answer can be delivered in a specific way for each of us. Now, to get immediate results, I want you to have a mindful notebook. And I have one. It's a big sketchbook, and it has a floral design on it, and it's spiral bound, and I write all my ideas in it. And I write down my shopping list, by the way, and I write down my budget if I'm working on figuring out math problems, and I write down ideas and things that I want to help my kids with, and I write down everything in this book. And it's a great notebook, and I cherish it, and it's really messy, and I don't even care. And sometimes I ask questions right before I go to sleep in my notebook or just in my mind, and then I might read a little article about what I'm asking about, or I might just lay there and meditate and ponder right before I go to sleep. And then in the morning, oftentimes, not every morning, but oftentimes I'll wake up with specific inspiration and answers to that specific question, or about something else that's been weighing on me. And I'll get answers in the early morning hours as I'm waking up. I want to teach you how to access information and power from your subconscious, from your spirit part. And even if you already know this and you've had this happen to you and you've done it before, let's just keep doing it. Let's not forget that we have power to receive divine inspiration for specific answers to our specific needs. I used this a lot when my daughter Lindsay was really sick. I knew that we were worthy of solutions. I knew that there were answers to our specific problems for 11 years as she struggled on and off with brain tumors, 3 brain tumors, surgeries, treatments. And we were also supplementing and with the natural realm, bringing in and integrating all the natural healing that we could. We were using guided visualization, Qigong. We had specific answers given to us to extend and sustain her life in ways that I don't think we would have gotten had we not been down this path of asking questions and seeking inspiration. And she lived for 11 years longer than we thought she could have or would have. She could have died at 14, but she didn't pass away till she was 25. And I know it was because we used this particular way of thinking and living and approaching our situation. And you can do that too. Until 5 years ago, when those windows of solutions started to close, and we had to come to an understanding, even an acceptance, that no more solutions were going to come. And that actually at that point, death was the solution. And then even coming to grips and an understanding and an acceptance that that was the answer, so that she wouldn't have to suffer anymore. Can I just say that sometimes with inspiration, the answer isn't what we want, but it still comes from the same place. And I trust and pray with all my heart that we'll have courage to follow the inspiration that comes to us and to follow through with what we know we're supposed to be doing, and be able to come to a place of acceptance and peace about that. And that can happen too, because then after that journey, the question is, how can I help my heart to heal? That's been my question for the last 5 years. And I've gotten specific answers. And my heart feels strong and vibrant. And I have joy and I have passion. And I still want to be here on the planet because it's not my time to go. And I can feel Lindsay's presence helping me and giving me that inspiration at night when I'm sleeping. And she's with me. I believe in this process of learning, and it's a very powerful way to approach life. And this is the way that we want to set up our resolutions and our goals and being mindful for 2017. Now, I tend to have certain gifts with curriculum, and I'm guided through information in books and in my sleep. And this is what I've been talking about. You need to find what works for you and start increasing your ability to access inspiration, guidance, and direction in your area of genius. And can I just say that sometimes somebody will say something and you go, oh, that was my answer for the day. Or you might see a license plate, and that'll be your answer for the day. Or you might see something on Facebook that somebody's posted, and that's your answer for the day. Or it might come in a dream, or in maybe you're reading some of your past journals, and all of a sudden there's one of your answers that you used to know, and now you're being and now you're kind of being given an opportunity to revisit that same lesson. That's how we learn. It has to be brought to our remembrance over and over and over again. Okay, now let's see. What we want to do is we want to choose to move forward in the direction that has inspired you when challenges arise, and see them as learning opportunities. Ask questions about the deeper meaning of things, as well as asking, what's my next step? You can even ask your answers to show up in specific ways. Oh, and I have a story to tell about that, and then we're going to turn the time over to Brandy. So now, stay with me for just a second. Now, I don't know exactly how to go back with the PowerPoint presentation. Can we do that? How do I go back? Just hang on just a second, everybody. I want to go back to the other slide because this is Brandy's and I want to save it. Oh, you're going forward. So, oh, there we go. Okay, so let's stay on this. Now look at this cobalt blue. This is significant because I want to tell you, I have a niece, and she's just darling, and I have to tell you her story. We were meeting in, where were we? Somewhere in the Midwest, in Omaha, Nebraska. And my husband's family, they live in Minnesota and Iowa. So they had traveled to Omaha, Nebraska to watch Savannah play basketball. And we had driven to Omaha. I think actually that we flew to Omaha to watch her play basketball. So we're all gathered there as our family, and we watched her on Thursday night, and their team didn't do so well. And you know, her push to go for basketball wasn't so that she'd be a great basketball player. It was so that she could learn teamwork. She could learn about what it feels like to win and lose, to handle disappointment, to handle hard things, to be away from home. It helped her to grow, and she was supposed to do it in that area of her genius. So that where her raw talent was. So that's what she was learning. So the game she didn't win, and it was all good. But the next morning we met for breakfast at in a restaurant, and I had chosen to wear this cobalt blue shirt, and it's really vibrant and it's very blue. Well, my niece came in to the restaurant, and she sat and stared at me for a very long time, and I didn't know what she was doing. And I was talking and, you know, ordering an omelet and drinking orange juice and everything. And then finally she sat down and she said, "Pam, I need to talk to you." I said, "Okay." And she said, "I need to know what you do. I've only heard a little bit about what you do, but I think that you have a message for me." I said, "Well, why would you say that?" And she said, "Because I asked what my next step is in life, and I asked for the message to be delivered to me with a color. And the color is the exact color that you are wearing." Now, we both just sat there in awe. I started sharing about the school. This happened in November. By January, she was enrolled in the school and started in our year-long 645-hour certification course to learn about emotional health and teaching muscle testing and the particular process that we use. And she actually graduated last December, and she has her own clientele, and she's been helping other healers, helping them, and she's been helping us with our website. So the thing is you can ask specifically how you want the answer to come. And she's an artist, and she wanted it to come in a specific color. You can ask, what is my next step? And then you can actually ask for it to come in and tailor that response in a way that works for you. Now, I wanted to bring this forward because we can be as specific as that when we're asking questions and setting things up to get information. Isn't that cool? I just thought I had to share that with you, and it ties right in with this whole topic. So I'm going to summarize, and then we're going to turn our time over to Brandy, who will share some information about oils to help us with this learning process and accessing inspiration. So in summary, I want to remind us that rather than setting goals just haphazardly or because we know we should, or refusing to set goals because we're stubborn and we don't want to set ourselves up to fail, can I just say that if you approach what this year is really about for you and you work to design it and you ask questions about what it's supposed to be for you, you will be given answers and direction. And I'm still in the process of asking, what should my focus be for 2017? That's my question. With my business, with my work, and I'm getting answers in specific areas. And I want you to be able to do that too, because I know that when we are operating out of inspiration, we will be more likely to keep those goals and will be more directed and more focused in areas that fit our genius. And that's kind of my summary of this at this point. That's my challenge to each one of us. And we're going to turn some time over to Brandy. Please give us some help, Brandy, about the oils and how they can help us.
Hi, you guys can hear me.
I'm hoping that they can. We have you on the phone, and the speaker is really loud, I think. So you're going to hold it right up there, aren't you? Oh, and turn my volume up. Yeah. Okay, now speak again. Let's see. You just hold it right up.
Awesome, Pam. Thank you. Can you guys hear me?
And she'll just be a minute. Yeah. Thanks, Donna. Okay. Yep, we can hear you. This is good.
All right. Thank you so much. And thank you for this incredible, timely topic. You always just say what I need to hear, Pam. Thank you. We've been working at Enlighten this month and talking about the same concept of creating New Year's resolutions, and so many times we do that out of guilt, or we do that out of some sense of lack. I'm not as pretty as I should be, or my house is not as organized. And this is just it. I think it's the message the world needs. So thank you for sharing that today. And I'm so excited I can just share a few essential oils that can help with this process. And really, there's a lot of oils that are out there and are available. So I just chose 3 or 4 to talk to you about today. But I wanted to focus really on just a handful, and a lot of them are blends, because there just really are so many oils that can help us, help support us in these specific areas of our lives. And the ones that I chose today are sort of spicy and kind of fun. So what that tends to mean is if you're going to use an oil that's spicy or pungent or really fragrant, topically, it's best to use a diffuser oil with that. Some sort of carrier oil. So you can put these with just a plain vegetable oil or a coconut oil if you're going to apply them topically. I think that's the best way to go with that. Okay, so the first one that I wanted to mention is called Citrus Bliss. Citrus Bliss is available from doTERRA, and it is known as their invigorating blend. And so Citrus Bliss helps to support with fueling creativity and igniting a spark. And it also helps us to let go of old limitations. So if you're in a place where you're like, oh, Pam, I am totally picking up what you're throwing down. I'm interested. I'm excited. I want to start asking those questions about what I should be doing or what I should be focusing on, where my life should be heading. This is a great one to help you as you're asking those questions. And then the next one I wanted to show you is a blend also from doTERRA called Motivate, which is their encouraging blend. And this one is, I sort of put this one in for me. This one helps us to have the confidence that we need to follow through on those creative inspirations and our intentions. A lot of times we know what we're supposed to do. We hear those answers. We find them, as you were saying, in lots of different ways. And we then question ourselves. And we think, really, am I supposed to write a book? Or am I supposed to paint a beautiful picture? Or am I supposed to become a photographer? Or whatever it is. The Motivate blend can help us to encourage ourselves, can help us to keep driving towards that creative inspiration and intention, help us to really stay the course. And a couple ways that you can use essential oils like these, always using them as aromatherapy is a great way to go. So diffusing them in your home is wonderful. Having them in your home office as you're sitting down with your journal, or as you go to bed at night and you're starting to think through and ask those questions and write them. It's great to have them diffusing in that area. Another thing that I really like with this is maybe you can apply it to a shirt collar before you have to give a speech, or if you're at the office and you're trying to maybe look for a new promotion or something different in your work, or if you're teaching, or if you're sharing, or again, if you're journaling. It's wonderful just to put the oils there on a shirt collar to help with that. Again, diffusing when you're working on a project. And it's also great, essential oils like this with a carrier oil are great to apply to pulse points. So when you're brainstorming about what you should be doing, or you're reading inspirational materials. I loved what you said about how every night you sit down and study art. I think that's a great thing. And if you'll use an essential oil that will help you with inspiration, will help you with confidence to follow through as you're reading those books, you'll find that the inspiration comes to you a little more quickly. So if you're sitting down to create, to paint, or draw, or write, or if you're a baker or a chef or whatever it is, using these 2 essential oils can really help you in tapping into your intuition and into your inspiration. The next one I wanted to point out is an interesting one. I think it's called Passion, which is an inspiring blend. And this one really acts as a gentle reminder to help us rediscover our inner passion. And again, this one helps with us not only being inspired, but having the follow through and the sort of the chutzpah to keep after that thing that we felt inspired to go and do. This one is great to diffuse in the morning to start the day. Again, this is great for application on the pulse point. And I think this is wonderful to diffuse at work specifically to help us spark creativity and clarity and an idea of wonder, like what's out there for me, what else, what if, what else could I be doing? Passion is a great one for that. And then the last one I wanted to point out is Tangerine. Tangerine is known as the oil of creativity and cheer. And this one supports us in accessing, and I love this quote directly from the book, Emotions and Essential Oils, supports us in accessing the abundant pool of creative energy that is held within the spirit. I love knowing that there's an abundant pool within me, and I believe it's true. I have a hard time accessing it sometimes, but I love knowing that it's there. And tangerine is an oil that can help me to get at that. And for me, I wanted to share this idea in terms of using an application. Scents are really great to help with memory recall. And as we talked about during the webinar, as we're asking ourselves, as we're asking the divine, as we're looking for ideas and inspiration, what should I be doing? What should my goals be? What should my focus be? Answers come to us all the time. I'm a writer, and I love to write, and I get inspiration. Honestly, most of the time, my inspiration, and I'll hear full sentences in my mind, full chapters in my mind. They come when I'm driving, which is not entirely creative or entirely convenient. I can't remember what those inspirations were. Or maybe you're with your kids or you see something on TV you can't remember. So scent is really great to help with memory recall. And I know that I tend to find inspiration in terms of my writing in the car. So if I choose to use tangerine oil in the car, if I put it on a cotton ball, for example, and stick it in the little air vent, like where I might have the heat going or the air going, I could even put it on like a Kleenex or a tissue and just place it right there in my car. There are travel diffusers that are available these days as well. If I have that in my car and I know, when I get home later, after a crazy day and taking care of my kids and my work and all of that, and I sit down with my journal and I think, okay, I have 3 great ideas. What were they? If I just use tangerine oil, that scent will help with my memory recall. It sort of puts me back in the emotional space that I was in when I got the inspiration and can help me to remember what those ideas were. And this is a proven fact. And it works also, if you're studying for a test or you've got some big presentation and you're kind of trying to remember your notes, if you will use essential oils and scent in particular as you're planning, and as you're working through studying, memorizing your talking points, and then have that same scent with you and available as you're trying to access those memories, the essential oil will help you to do that. So I just wanted to share that. It's a little out there, but I felt like, hey, I was inspired to share that on this presentation today. So I hope those are some great ideas, some great oils that you can look at individually. And then the blends are also great. Citrus blends are great. And passion is great for sparking your inspiration and then following through.
Okay, Brandy, thank you so much. I love that you shared about the tangerine, because sometimes I have information that comes to me and I'll need to carry around that bottle with me and make sure that I'm using it in my car and where I'm at, because it'll help me remember. So thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Thanks for being with us today. And we really appreciate Enlighten, the support from you and Amanda, and appreciate all that you do to help add to these presentations. Plan on seeing Brandy or Amanda in our first webinar of each month. They'll bring in insight and information about the oils, and we're so happy to team up with them for 2017 and moving forward with this year of what we're creating and designing for topics. And I'm so excited to have you be with us. Okay, we'll continue forward then. And I appreciate all of our listeners and those that are joining. I know that it takes an hour out of your life to be here, but emotional health is an important topic that all of us need to be studying. And so as we look at what 2017 holds, we have a brand new year in front of us. We have something that that's right in front of us that hasn't happened yet. And we actually have power to be about creating what we want to create. So make sure, just these bullet points that we'll review, make sure that you're asking questions. And if you want to make improvement with emotional health, how can I manage my anger better? How can I manage my negativity better? How can I filter my words better so that they're not so judgmental and hurting the people that I love and care about? How can I manage that negative self-talk? These are wonderful questions that you could be asking and getting answers for. And just know that here at Institute of Healing Arts, we have ways to help you come to solutions for those answers. Be sure that you're choosing something that you're focusing on that you love and that lives in you. Believe that you can receive an answer. Let go of judgment and self-doubt. Focus on the vision and what it feels like to have it already be happening in your life. It can help rewrite old programs and rewire neural pathways so that you're operating from a new mind. Write down your vision. And can I just say that writing everything down makes such a huge difference? And there are actually books out there and techniques of writing down what you're focused on, affirmations, putting them by your mirror, or giving thanks for having the solution already be there, even though you haven't gotten it yet. It would be like saying, I give thanks that I've been figuring out a way to manage my anger better. I give thanks that I'm not so negative and judgmental towards self. I give thanks that I'm finding direction in my life and that I've been inspired to know how to move forward. I give thanks that there's more love in my marriage. If you approach it like that and write it down in this beautiful notebook, you will have greater capacity to experience it and have it be a part of a new way of being. Overcome any obstacles that might get in your way to try to sabotage these changes. Don't let them get in your way. And continue to move forward and do it. Looking into the future, anything is possible. We're moving into uncharted territory, into where the realm of possibilities exists. Truly, anything is possible for you in your life. As you are navigating and making decisions about 2017, trust your inner guidance system. When something is brought to your attention and it awakens or resonates with something inside of you on a deeper level, know that those feelings are real and are specifically for you. Choose your next step as you seek to be inspired. And I really appreciate all of you joining us today. I love talking about this topic, and I'm sure we'll cover it again in another flavor this year. But let's go ahead and remember that questions have answers. And when you know how to ask questions, you will get answers. I want to remind everyone that we are offering a $2,000 discount if you enroll in our year-long course in the next 3 weeks. You'll have till the end of the month, and just know that it actually makes the payments $292 a month instead of $459. So it's an excellent opportunity. Jump in. If you've been thinking about doing this and you know this is what you're supposed to do and now is your time, jump in. We're here for you. And we're here to get you registered. I'm so excited about this year's training opportunities, and we have classes in Arizona and also our independent study program. We have students in New Zealand. Randy, can you believe it? I'm like so amazed. And then our weekend training. If you are wanting to just come and learn the process and learn the muscle testing, come to the weekend training. It's January 20th, which is a Friday, from 6 to 10. And then also Saturday 9 to 5, and we teach you the muscle testing. We teach you all the steps of the process. You can start using it at home. That's how I learned, was from a weekend training, and I just kept practicing. So know that that's available, and it's $50 off. Brandy, can we just tell you thank you for joining us? Here's the contact information for Enlighten and their book that they offer that has all the meanings of the oils. We appreciate your presence with us. We look forward to seeing you again in February, and we'll have some more free webinars this year, and Brandy will be a part of that. Thanks. Okay. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone. Oh, I don't know if I'm supposed to do that.